Okay, here we go. Day 5 of 6 for the star review. Let's get started. I decided to make a cami because I don't think you guys do a great job of listening to the whole class. So we're going to do a cami of this. Um, Simplifying exponents. Let's see if we can make this a little bit smaller. How about that? There we go. Okay. We need to simplify this expression. Do you remember when I taught you zebras pound nails while practicing quick calculations? So, are there any zeros? No. Are there any parentheses? Power of a power? No. Are there negatives? Yes. So, let's get rid of those negatives. We'll keep the 45 and the 15. We're going to move this one down here and move this one up here because see, they're negative. So we're just going to move them and that'll make them positive. The P's are fine. You guys are going, yeah, I remember this now. This is coming back to me. And then the V is okay, the V12, but the V4 needs to move up here so it's positive. Okay, all done with my negatives. Now, product, is there any multiplying? Well, yeah, right here is multiplying. And when we multiply, what do we do with the exponents? We add them. So we have 45 over 15. And then we're not dealing with this yet, not dealing with this, not dealing with this, not dealing with this, but that we are. So we're going to add those. So we have V16. Okay, that's our product rule. What about the quotient rule? Quotient rule means we're dividing. So we still have our 45 over 15. And dividing says to subtract. Now, when I subtract, I'm going to get a -4. So that means I'm going to put the 4 down here, right? And when I subtract this one, I'm going to get a -6. So I'm going to put the 6 down here. And then I have my V16 that just stays. Now my coefficient, can that be reduced? Well, let's see. 45 divided by 15 is -3. Oh, not -3. I had a negative on there. My bad. Second quit and clear. 45 divided by 15. There we go. 3. So I end up with 3 V16 over over M4 and P6. There it is. There's my answer. Okay. Here's an expression. The expression is equivalent to this. What is the value of P? Wow, this is really good. Okay. So, let's start with our zebras pound nails while practicing quick calculations. There's no zeros. There is a product of a product, so we multiply that. So x22 times x21. There's no negatives. There is the product rule. And so we get x and then we add those. That's the same as x, 22 plus 21. So we get 43. So the value of P equals 43. Okay. The area. Okay, remember area. So if I want to find the area of a rectangle, I'm going to do length times width. Area equals length times width. So the area is 54x9y8. The length is 6x3y4. I don't know the width, but I know it's multiplying. So I'm going to have 54x9y8 equals 6x3 y4 to the w. Well, I divide by this, and I divide by this, y4. So let's just do that. Zebras pound nails while practicing quick calculations. There are no zeros. There are no powers of a power. There are no negatives. So there's nothing to multiply because we don't have the same number anywhere. But there is the quotient rule. So 54, 9 minus 3 is x6, 8 minus 4 is y4. Got it? I'm subtracting. 9 minus 3, 8 minus 4. That's the quotient rule. And then I have the coefficients to take care of. 54 divided by 6 is 9. So 9x6, y4. Okay. Practice. I want you guys to try this one on your own. Take a look at your notes. And part of the ed puzzle is you get to try this on your own. Pause the video. Oh, no, it'll pause automatically. Okay, here's another one. Just go up here and see what we did up here. You get to try this one on your own. And another one. You get to try this one on your own. You're welcome. Okay, be sure to use a calculator for when you're doing that half of 8. Okay, use a calculator. And one more that you get to try on your own. Okay, domain and range. So one more. Let me make sure you try that on your own. Domain and range from graphs. Here we go. Okay, so the domain of f, this goes on forever and ever and ever. So it goes to every number possible. It is all real numbers. All real numbers. What about this one? What is the range? Range greater or equal to -6. So here's our y. Our y is our range. And here is -6. Well, it's not that one. Up, there's one. Not that one, not that one. So we're looking on the y, and it says numbers greater than. So it's not going to be less than. This would be less than. Less than. It's going to be greater than -6. So that would be C. Okay. Oops. Let's go on down. Exponential function. Which inequality best represents it? The domain. Domain is here to here. So if we go right here, we've got -2, but then it goes on and on forever. So it's numbers greater than. And remember, the minute we see domain, we know it's not a y value. Domain goes with x. So there it is. It is A. Okay, what about this one? The range of the situation. Well, our lowest point, we're looking, range is y. Y. So it's not going to be this, and it's not going to be this, and it keeps going forever. So we cannot have a stopping point. So the range is B. Okay, let's move on. Practice time. Okay, here's a problem that you get to practice. You're welcome. And then here's another problem that you get to practice. I'm glad we're playing this game. And then guess what? Here's another problem that you get to practice. And moving on, key attributes. Okay, so the big things to remember here is, well, just look at the graph. The x-intercept is located at -3, 0. That is true. The coordinates of the y-intercept. So here's the x-intercept. Here's the y-intercept. Is 0, 9. That is true. The axis of symmetry, that is straight up here. Axis of symmetry is what cuts it in half, is -3. That is true. So it's all numbers. Let's try this one. The graph represents a quadratic function that has 1 0. Well, zeros are when it crosses the x-axis. So that's 1, 2. Not that. That's 1, 2. Not that. There's 1. There's none. Not that. So the answer is B. Okay. Quadratic function shown on the graph. Let's see. Which coordinate best represents the vertex? Here's the vertex. 1, -2. There it is. The vertex is that little point. Oh, look. You get to practice. Here you go. First problem. And next problem. And next problem. Isn't this fun when you get to practice it? And next problem. That's our last problem. I hope you had a great time doing this Ed puzzle. Bye.